Here is the VX805 as it appears once it's been unpacked. On the left, you have the power supply. In the center, the VX805 pin pad. And on the right, you have the serial cable that connects directly to the VX805. Next, we're going to take a quick look at the tilt and swivel stand and the PEDPack. Here you see the tilt and swivel stand along with a plastic bag which contains the PEDPack. That's what connects the VX805 to the tilt and swivel stand. If you look extra carefully in the bag containing the PEDPack, you'll see another bag. That contains two small screws which are very important to connect the PEDPack to the VX805. Additionally, we have an adhesive disc and a key. The key is used to lock the VX805 into the tilt and swivel stand, and the adhesive disc will affix it to your counter. Our first step in getting the VX805 onto the tilt and swivel stand is to take the serial cable and attach it, or I should say run it through the tilt and swivel stand. So I'm just going to untie the VX805 cable, and I'm going to show you. We're going to take this end of the cable that has these two connectors on it, and we're going to run it up through the bottom of the tilt and swivel stand halfway into this opening. If you do it all the way, you'll never be able to get it through. The next step is going to be to take a needle nose plier. Now you have to be very careful when you take this needle nose plier, because you have to make sure that you get it in between those two connectors. This is where it gets kind of tricky. So what you want to do is get it in between the two connectors, because if you get it on the connectors, you're going to bend them, and that's no good. So, all right. So now you can see I have the tilt and swivel pliers in between the two connectors, and again, they do slip out sometimes. So this is a little difficult. Again, you gotta be very careful to get it in between the two connectors, and there we go. Now we pulled it through. Okay, our next step is to connect this cable to the VX805. In order to do that, we turn the VX805 over. You notice there's a cover here to the back of it, and there's actually a protruding screw. Now you've got to be very careful with this screw, because it actually has a little bit of it has a spring on it. If you push it down, it'll pop back up. So the idea is to take a small Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew this as best you can. You may have to put actually some downward pressure on it in order to get it to move up. You don't have to take it out all the way. You see it's still in here. You just slid the door over. You'll see there's two sets of connectors here, but this is where we want to affix the cable. So we're going to take the cable, turn this upside down. It'll actually only go in one way, and press it down so that this rests nicely, this part of the cable rests nicely on the back. And then all we're going to do is return the cover as best we can. You got to do it the right way, of course. Put it down, and now we're going to press on that screw again and screw it down all the way in until it's tight, and that part is complete. Okay. Now this is what's called the PEDPack. This is the item which will, when affixed to the back of the VX805, will allow it to connect into the tilt and swivel stand. Now notice again, as I pointed out earlier, not only is there the PEDPack, but there's also a tiny bag that has two screws in it. A lot of times people will take the PEDPack out and throw the bag away. The screws are extremely important. What we're going to do now is we're going to line up the PEDPack so that it will, the idea, there are two screw holes, one here and one here. We're going to line up the screw holes so that, this is incorrect, we want the barcode to fit inside this little vertical area. You see the screw holes are there. And cut them in. Okay, I've now taken the 2 little screws out of the PEDPack bag, and all we're going to do is just put them right in here as best we can. Again, once we line this up, put the screws in the screwdriver, put it inside here, and we're going to get that over there, and I'm going to screw that down just like that, and then this one, we'll screw this one in. They don't have to be super tight, but they should be hand tight. Okay, now you notice we have the PEDPack, we have the barcode in that little rectangular area, and now if we take the key for the tilt and swivel stand, turn the stand upwards this way, put the key in, turn it horizontally, we can now take the VX805 and attach it right to the PEDPack. It won't attach if the key is vertical, but the vertical locks it in. So if I take the key out now, this is locked in totally. In order to remove the VX805 from the PEDPack, again, we put the key in, turn it horizontally, and notice there's a latch right here. All you do is push the latch, and it comes right off. That's our basic steps to putting the PEDPack together with the VX805. Thank you. The final step that we need to take is we need to, first of all, we have to line up the top part of this with these 2 notches in the bottom. These notches will be used to feed the cable depending upon how you set up the PEDPack on your counter. Generally, as the PEDPack and the VX805, I meant the stand, but anyway, as the stand and the VX805 are customer facing, it will lock in one direction, just like that. Now it's locked this way. So a lot of times we have it locked towards the computer. So if the computer's over here, that on this side, notice it's locked, and now it can go all the way around to the customer. If the computer is on this side, or the monitor's on this side, we turn it all this way, and now we turn it to the customer, and we can rotate it. Well, we can't rotate it. I have to cut that part out. Wasn't quite ready with that. Did you stop? All right, the last step to setting this up is, first of all, you're going to make 1 full cut in this adhesive strip. Then you're going to feed it right under here like this. You're going to put the cable through one of these channels. And the adhesive strip is we're going to fix the adhesive strip in a minute. Once the adhesive strip is fixed, we're going to make another cut in this other channel. That way you can determine the best way to feed the cable once it's all done. Pretty much that's it. Once the cable's down, you take the red part off, you stick it in onto the counter, and you're set to go.